If you like this video, why not subscribe?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the weekly recap Q&A show. That's where I sit in my car because it makes a good sound booth, good for audio. And I talked to you about the links and questions from last week. If you're curious about the links that accumulated on the Facebook group and Twitter, you can find them in the description below. See what interesting things people reported or I found or whatever. This is also where I talk questions that came up on YouTube and through email. And I answer them to the best of my ability. Last week we talked about what pro gear would you use, and most people, gave, it's kind of a silly question, I guess, because if we all had big budgets, we would get the best stuff. I mean, why wouldn't we? A lot of people said, I want a red Epic, and I want the best this, and I want the best that, and that makes perfect sense, because if you have the money, you're probably going to use it, and if you don't, you're going to try and be frugal. So thanks for all your contributions, and everybody giving me support on the 100th episode. Appreciate that. And aside from that, I haven't heard much about the T-shirts lately. Jacob from Mischief Apparel has been out of town, so I don't know how the black T-shirts are selling or the pre-orders are going, but I'm sure I'll find out as soon as he gets back, because I would like my black T-shirt also. This week, our question is gonna be something based on one of the questions. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into the questions because we've actually got a lot more than normal. I found a lot of compelling questions. Not a lot of the repetitive questions that I often get, but a lot of really interesting questions. So I'm going to jump right in. We're going to start answering those. First one comes from YouTube. It's a comment on the Sony Vegas episode, Ken Burns Effect, from GS2652. And he says, "Hey Scott, during your Q&A, why don't you take us out for a ride and give us a tourist tour of Salt Lake? Better than a white fence." Yeah, sorry about the white fence. Since I'm at a school at the moment, this is the best quick location that I have. Although you might see a little bit of activity over here from squirrels or other critters that run around. But yeah, I realize it's kind of static, it's kind of boring. And the reason that I'm not driving around, number one, my car is old and very loud, so it would not contribute to our audio. And number two, I don't know how well I would do trying to read questions and answer them while I'm driving around town. I don't think that would be very safe. And I'd worry about it, so that's why I'm not doing that. But who knows what might happen in the future? Maybe someday when I get a better car or driver, maybe we'll try that. But anyway, the next comment comes from Percane on the $1 budget episode from last week. Suction squirt, clamp that bin. And they ask, do iPhone apps qualify for the $1 budget? This is a good question, and it's part of our question you'll see above there, which is what's your favorite filmmaker app? And I don't, I'm not totally opposed to this because I do have an iPhone now, so I can check out apps. And my wife's about to get an Android, so I can check out apps there also. I think the main qualifying thing, of course, would be price, and also if they were available for both platforms, because I don't know if I'd want to be exclusive and say, well, you have to have an iPhone to use this application. But that would probably be the criteria. But since we've opened up that can of worms, what's your favorite filmmaker app? Tell me what you're using. I've started using a few myself, but maybe I'll mention the ones that I'm using and happy with next time once people tell me what they like. So tell me what you think. Comment below on this episode about what application you like. And maybe it doesn't even have to be for Android or iPhone. If you got an obscure phone, I used to have a Palm Pre till it blew up. And, whatever. If there's an application out there you find useful, let us know so we can use it too. Levari Studio made a comment on the $1 budget episode, same one. They say, "Hi, can you please add a link to the Kobe monitor? Lots of models on the internet. I would like to view the specific one you are using." I don't know of a specific link to that Kobe monitor because I got it from a store on a clearance. My wife got it actually and found a really good deal. And so I don't have that link, but there's a similar one that I've been telling people to check out if they're interested in the cheap 7-inch standard definition monitor that you can use for composition, framing. I'll leave a link below. It's the Pegasus monitor. All these are kind of the same. There's the higher monitor, there's the Pegasus, there's the Kobe. They're all basically the same sort of rebranded Chinese unit. So I'll leave a link below. They're about $60. The Pegasus one is $60 on Amazon right now. And you can check out all the specs there. As long as they have an AV input, you should be fine. The next one's from Stormfront Videos, made a comment on the recap Q&A last week, which is what pro gear would you use? And they ask, I'm about to start working on my first short film, and I'm not sure how to get started organizing it. What I really need is advice on getting people involved. We've talked a little bit about that before as far as auditions, how do you find people, but this is more of I'm guessing, how do you, get a crew together or get a pre-production staff, if you will, together, and how do you organize it? Well, getting the staff together might be the trickiest thing, because it's not like you can, I don't know, maybe you can hold auditions, or you can put ads out. I know Craigslist actually has a crew category. You might try that. Talk to your friends and family who'd be interested in working on a movie. Give them the best thing I think you can attract people with, because you probably can't pay them, I'm guessing, but always say you're going to, copy and meals provided. Always say that. That means that they'll get a copy of the movie they worked on, and you'll feed them while they're there. That is critical, because if you don't feed people on a set, what's going to keep them there? What's going to keep them coming back or helping you? When you're running a free set like that, where you're not paying anybody, it's really common for people just to say, "Oh, I can't make it," and they're gonna bail on you. So give them some incentive to be there, and food is a great incentive. So you're gonna have to spend a little money on that, but you can always be creative and frugal, and that'd probably be a really good episode actually. Frugal feeding for your crew. So anyway, attract them with something. Make sure the story is really interesting. Get people interested in that basic story. Pick a genre that a certain group of people will be interested in: science fiction, horror, romantic comedy, whatever. But you're gonna have to do a little selling of yourself and the story to get people attracted to it. As far as being organized, I'm going to recommend a really interesting website that I found not too long ago called moviescheduling.com. And essentially, it's a free way of organizing your shoot with a shot list. Shot list, but scheduling as far as what scene. I guess it is a shot list. Just check it out. It's self-explanatory. It's a little bit complicated if you've never done scheduling before. You might not understand what's going on, but there's a lot of it's self-teaching in a way. So check it out. I'll leave a link below, and it's got a free option. Most scheduling programs do not have any kind of a free option, and they tend to be kind of expensive. But this one has a free option where you can actually put in one script at a time and do all the scheduling around it. And it's just really great. I should do an episode basically about that site. I've actually been working with the author of the site, so I can get the premium version for myself and completely review it. But there is a free version that I've used on several short films actually last semester in school, and it was very handy. So I suggest you check it out to be organized. Next up, we have Wilt Truslow. Is that right? Will Truslow made a comment on the recap Q&A of last week. He says, "Why are you so anti-DSLR?" I'm not anti-DSLR. It's hard for me to comment on a lot of DSLR stuff like lenses and things like that, because obviously I don't have a DSLR. I have access to them through school, but I'm probably, of all the DIY film shows around, the least least experienced with that camera, that type of camera, because I don't use it. I use a standard video camera. But I'm not anti-DSLR. Maybe you're referring to the cartoon that I did, the DSLR Debate, and that was just more of a commentary or a rant or a joke. And if I had the opportunity, if I had the money, I would get a DSLR, because it's obvious that's an important category. I just haven't been able to exploit it yet because I haven't had the money to move into that. I mean, if the DSLR I would get right now would be the Panasonic GH2, which if you're just going to get the body, it's about $750, and that's $750 I don't have at the moment. So I'm not against those cameras at all. But I just thought it was funny because some people put such a high priority on using a DSLR that they kind of ignore the whole point of filmmaking, which is, I think, to take what equipment what you do have and tell a good story with it. Your tools can vary, from expensive to cheap or whatever, but that's not the most important thing. So that's my feelings. I said I'm not against it, and maybe I'm just overly sarcastic. So I apologize if that's weird or if it made me appear that way. Overdevoted made a comment on the recap from last week, saying, "Is there a place where you can just communicate with other filmmakers?" The best site I can think of right now is actually, there's probably 3 places I would send you. One is the Frugal Filmmaker Facebook group, because it's really active, and you'll post a question, and within minutes almost sometimes, you'll get answers to various questions. A lot of filmmakers there, a lot of filmmakers with not a lot of money, so there's a lot in common there, common feelings and beliefs and opinions and all kinds of experience levels, so I would check that out. There's also DVXUser. That's a forum. I leave a link to it, and which has been around forever, since the DVX100, the Panasonic DVX100. Lots of stuff going on that site, that forum, and it's much more organized as far as categories and everything. So check that one out. Another one is hv20.com, which is another forum. You can ask questions on it, similar to DVXUser. It's only centered around the Panasonic HV20. When that came out several years ago, that's what started that forum, but there's still lots of good information running around. So those are the three sites I would recommend: Facebook group, DVXUser, and also hv20.com. Lots of good info. Mike 702 Dax made a comment on a camera crane jib for $30. Quick question: suppose I don't need all the motion abilities of the jib crane, but instead I need an easy way to mount a small Canon Vixia camera above the subject facing down. Do you have any videos on that kind of simple need? Yes, if you recall the microphone, what was it called? The microphone adapter, the painter's pole microphone adapter. Excuse me, can't even remember the name of my own video. Where it was a little mount that made from a paint roller that would go on the top of any painter's pole, that had a 3/8" thread on the end of it. And in the video I put a microphone mount on it, but I also mentioned in the same video that I'll leave an annotation to here and a link below, you can unscrew the microphone mount and put on a mini ball head, or any kind of ball head that accepts a 3/4 inch thread, and then you can put a camera on that. So you could use essentially a painter's pole as a boom. You might have to have somebody hold it there, or find some way of fixing it if you're by yourself, but that would give you however long the pole is up in the air, and you could easily aim it down by adjusting the mini ball head. So that's what I would recommend. That's probably the most inexpensive solution that there is, and that's why I included it in that video, because I thought people might want to put their camera on the end of a long pole, and that's one way to do it. Okay, Hoggett Blanker sent me a message through YouTube. He says, I was at a dollar store the other day and I saw a telescopic painter's poles at $2 each. The length can be adjusted from 42 inches to 74, if I remember correctly. I know people use these for boom poles, but it got me wondering, what is a good length for this? Any insight? That's a good question. How long should your boom pole be? I would recommend, because, I mean, obviously the idea is to keep your microphone out of the shot. Basically, you're going to need some distance away from the subject to do that. So I think you'll probably need at least 5 feet. It probably depends on the operator too. I mean, I'm a tall guy, I have long arms, I can get away with a shorter boom pole because I just use my arms as part of the length of the boom pole. So you're going to need at least, I would say at least 5 feet so you can get out of the shot. If you're not tall like me and you can't get above the subject and you've got a shorter pole, you can always, boom from underneath. But going from the top down is always the best. You should always start with that because that's the best sound, and then go underneath as a secondary angle. But if you don't have a shorter pole, you can get away with going underneath a lot easier than you can going over the top. As far as maximum length, I'd recommend, usually you're not going to use more than probably 10 or 11 feet. I mean, sometimes if you've got a wide shot and you need to be way back there, we're way high up in the air, you'll need a longer length. You'll need like 10, 11 feet. So that's, and a lot of the poles kind of max out at that length, which is fine. I don't think you're going to need longer than that. If you're farther away and you need audio, you can always, conceal a microphone on the talon or do a plant mic, which is hidden somewhere on the set. But yeah, I wouldn't, I think since that length that you mentioned there, Hoggett Blanker, 42 inches to 74, is probably fine. But as far as minimum goes, I think you need at least 5 feet. That's what I would recommend. Gul Halim wrote a letter through a Gmail and says, "Hi Scoot, I have a short film I will be working on soon, but I'm not sure what type of cord or extension to use with the DIY boom pole. I have a Rode video mic and a Canon 60D. I've gotten a 3.5mm 25-foot extension cord, but it captures electric interference. Is there a way I can have a long extension cord without interfering with the audio quality?" This is the main reason that the XLR technology was invented, because if you take unbalanced mics and attach extension cords, long extension cords, you're going to get interference. That's just the caveat of unbalanced mics. They're cheaper, but they are more prone to interference. If you want to avoid interference, use XLR equipment, because the XLR standard or protocol or design or what have you is awesome for eliminating that kind of sound. It's designed for that. It's built for that. It's been around forever. You can have the biggest advantage of the XLR technology, which is more expensive than unbalanced mics, but you can have incredibly long runs of cable and you won't get noise because it's self-canceling. The design cancels out. I think I'll leave a link below, like to a Wikipedia article or something explaining this, because it's really awesome and simple, and it just works. So if you need a long run, I don't think you should use an unbalanced mic, you should try and find an XLR mic and cable. And XLR mics, you can get some cheap ones on eBay, so it probably wouldn't be that difficult. But if you insist on using an unbalanced mic, you probably have to deal with interference or noise and try and figure out a way of getting rid of it in post, which isn't fun. It's always best to capture the cleanest, purest signal at the beginning, and you won't have to worry about it in post. Then you can just sweeten it. So that's all the questions. I had a lot of them. Sorry this ran on forever. I've been trying to keep this show shorter, but I know this is a longer show. And the question again, what's your favorite filmmaker apps? Leave a comment below. And I will do the same, or I will comment on it next week, like which ones I use. I remember I got the blog, the frugalfilmmaker.com, and then I'm at Twitter at Frugal Filmmaker. There's a Facebook group, search for it. We're almost at 4,000 members there. There's all kinds of people with opinions and information there, so don't miss it. And there's, of course, here we are on YouTube. So that's it for the weekly recap Q&A. And there's going to be a show this Wednesday and another Sony Vegas tip show on Friday. And then we're back on Monday with the recap. So we'll see you next Monday. Bye-bye.